You're wrong about the ending of Wonder Woman. It's everything you say, but so much more. Hey guys, Harry Thomas here, and with Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom just like a day away from releasing now, with the non-James Gunn DCEU movie about to draw to a close, and a new era of the James Gunn DCEU about to begin, I thought that I make the DC video that I have wanted to make for 6 years now, as for ever since Wonder Woman, my favorite superhero movie of all time, released in June 2017. I'm not complaining too much, as the movie has been wildly regarded as the savior of the DCU, and but despite its rave reception, people highly praised the first two acts of the film. But the one part they always seem to bash is the third act and the climactic final battle between Diana and her half brother Ares. I have seen people even not put Wonder Woman in as their favorite DCU movie just because of the climax. They say, "Oh, the movie loses points for having an overly CGI final fight," which takes me out of it. I mean, I defend both Wonder Woman climaxes, even 1984's, but of the two climaxes that deserves more defending, it's one for the first movie, because I am here today to tell you why Diana and Ares' final battle is my personal favorite part of the movie, and not a bad way to wrap up the movie, as the haters say, and still stays consistent with the first two acts of the film that came before. It turns out that the original ending for Wonder Woman was a far smaller one, according to Patty Jenkins. So Diana and Ares is enormous clash was not the original intended ending. Turns out Warner Brothers pushed for Diana and Ares' final battle to be far more explosive and extremely epic in scale, similar to Man of Steel's climax. While Patty herself was initially skeptical about that decision, the studio wanted it, so she had to go along with it. Even as director, and she ended up loving it, and she made it work. And I wouldn't be surprised if Zack Snyder had a helping hand in the finalization of the decision to have Diana and Ares just go all at it, uh, uh, fists are blazing, as he is a huge fan of action. So if this finale was directed by a far less talented director than Patty, then I would understand the hate far more. But no, she gave it her all to keep it as less focused on the action itself and more on the story and characters and the emotions at play, with what Diana learns from Steve, and what she loses at the same time, as well as the inner conflicts just brewing within her. And of course, after Diana is grief-stricken by the town that they saved at the No Man's Land fights are being destroyed and gassed by Ludendorff, Diana initially mistakes for Ares, as she blames Steve for stopping her from killing Ares, and she just rides off on her horse, a sword drawn. She is taking out Germans left, right, and center. Nothing's gonna stop her until she finally reaches Ludendorff's base, and after a brawl with Ludendorff, which is the most underrated fight in the movie, in my opinion, she stabs the sword, what she thinks is the God Killer, through his heart, and he dies, but the war still hasn't stopped. Then Steve comes to reassure her that sometimes people aren't always good, and not and it's not just always one person to blame for a war. But Diana is so upset about everything she's been taught about Ares, and of course, what she will realize later, she killed the wrong Ares, but she rejects Steve and was like, "Oh, my mother was right. So you humans don't deserve our help." But Steve tells her it's not about deserve; it's about what you believe. And this liner will stick with her for the rest of her days. I get the haters do criticize, oh, the ending would have been so much better if there was no Ares, and if it was just came down to, oh, the war was going on because not everybody is good. And if you're one of those people, totally fine, but in my personal opinion, how anticlimactic a reveal would and an ending would that be if they're after all the build up to Ares, especially after Hippolyta's bedtime story to her daughter, all about Ares and how he corrupts the hearts of men. That would have felt like a total waste to get literally no Ares in the end. After this, Diana realizes, oh shit, there is an Ares after all. Sir Patrick, played by Remus Lupin from Harry Potter, David Thewlis, has been Ares all this time and has been the puppet master behind the scenes. He tells her that she's been lied to all this time, that the sword is not the god killer after disintegrating the sword to ashes, and she herself is the god killer, and only a god can kill another god. But I find what's extremely compelling about this fight, it's not just a lazy, boring fight as everybody says. Bullshit. It is engaging if you just pay attention. Throughout the entire fight, Ares is attempting to turn Diana to his side and become the destroyer of mankind as he is, so they can uh, rule the world and make the world only for the gods together. And you know what? For the most part, he nearly succeeds, and Diana does nearly become like him because well, uh, she's been told. So it comes down to her learning to not be tempted by Ares's manipulative lies and trust Steve, and to not give up on Steve. And I have to say, the fight between Diana and Ares itself, to see two gods go at it, that it's electrifying. And the blazing fire gives me Simba versus Scar vibes and adds that much of an apocalyptic feel to the fight. And David Thewlis, I've gotta say, he totally kills it as Ares, and he's going to play his second villain role in Avatar 3 as the chief of the Ash Clan in 2025, so we should all get hyped for that. And it's not like Diana defeats Ares too easily, or the fight is resolved too easily. Hell no, she faces her greatest challenge against Ares. It's like she's finally met her maker. You cannot call this a bad climax, as Steve does tragically need to kill himself by blowing up the plane with the gas on it in order to save the day, to which Diana just screams in agony of losing Steve. She unleashes all her emotions out on the Germans, and to much to Ares's delight, as he sees this as the perfect opportunity to finally turn her heart. To which Ares then tells Diana to crush Dr. Poison with the tank, but Diana remembers Steve's final words to her and realizes, you know what, people like Steve still give me hope in humanity. As flawed as they are, there is still good in them, so that's why she rightfully spares Dr. Poison. And what Diana realizes is that humans have love, and it's love that truly beats Ares in the end.
You're wrong about them. everything you say, but so much more.
They do not deserve your protection!
It's not about deserve. It's about what you believe. And I believe in love.
So you see, with a beautiful and heartfelt writing like that, that only love can truly save the world, I don't see what's so bad about this final battle. It is far, far from the worst superhero final battle. I can think of dozens that are worse and weaker than Wonder Woman's climax. This, heck, I still stand by this. This is my favourite final battle in a superhero movie. Yes, even more so than Endgame. There, I said it. I mean, Endgame and Infinity War's climaxes were nothing but spectacle. Nobody complained there, so surely you can give Wonder Woman a pass too. So that's just my justified defense of why Wonder Woman's climax is still underrated. So yeah, I will never get all the hate for this climax, and one day there is hope that this climax will be seen in a way more positive light when the DCU fans like myself marathon it again when the non-James Gunn DCU is done. And sure, studio interference can be a bad thing for most movies, I get that, but in this case, uh, I actually agree with the studio's decision here to change the climax. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this defense. And do you agree? Do you also find Wonder Woman's climax underrated and feels like and you feel like people are way too harsh on it? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time when I review Aquaman and The Lost Kingdom. Just one more DC movie this year to go, and it will be my final 2023 movie review. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.